Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. I tell you what, it's a big one this weekend. We've got an all-Mexican showdown. We've got history being made. Two Mexicans fighting for a Cruiserweight world title for the first time ever. And, of course, I'm talking about David Benavidez stepping up, jumping up to Cruiserweight, in fact, to challenge long-time rival Zurdo Ramirez for the unified WBO and WBA Cruiserweight world titles. It's going to be a good fight, and I think there will be blood. Let's talk about it. Just before we get started, if you could do me a massive favour as always, make sure you drop a like on this video. It really helps the channel grow. I really appreciate it. And for whatever reason, if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We're pushing. I want to get to 100 subscribers as soon as possible. If you could hit that subscribe button, be part of that journey, it'd make me very happy. Thank you. Back into the video. So David Benavidez is a bit of a madman. He wants all the smoke. He's stepping up to Cruiserweight. He stuck around at light heavy for a bit, but he's essentially jumped straight up from super middleweight. He had a few fights at light heavyweight. He fought Vodzek, he fought Morel, he fought Anthony Yard. Ultimately became a two-weight world champion, but in the ring after the Anthony Yard fight, he basically said, I'm sick of waiting. Bivol, Beterbiev, they're doing whatever they're doing. I'm going to do my thing. F it. I'm going straight up to Cruiserweight. I want the Zurdo Ramirez. I want to chase greatness. I want to become a free-weight world champion. And he's a man of his word. That's exactly what he has chosen to do. And he'll be taking on Zurdo for that opportunity. Cinco de Mayo weekend. How do we see the fight going? What are both men's strengths? What are both men's weaknesses? What are the keys to victory? Let's start with Benavidez. Benavidez is someone who's turned his career around. He was the young world champion, I remember, down at super middleweight. He had some issues outside of the ring. He looked to be going off the rails, but he's managed to turn it round. So fair play to David Benavidez. He's back on track. And he's managed to amass a pretty impressive resume. You've got Darrell on there. You've got Caleb Plant. You've got Vodzek. You've got Morel. You've got Anthony Yard. He's beaten plenty of good fighters. And now I think this will be his toughest assignment yet. Jumping up to Cruiserweight to challenge Zurdo Ramirez. Now, they've sparred in the past. David Benavidez has talked about this openly. He said he hurt Zurdo Ramirez. He said he got the better of the sparring, and he's taking plenty of confidence from those sparring sessions into the fight. Now, as we all know, sparring. It's not a real fight. It was years ago. Both men have drastically improved since those sparring sessions, but with Benavidez being the younger man, if he can take any confidence from those sparring sessions, I think it's going to stand him in good stead for the fight. As for Benavidez and his chances of winning, I think he's got a very good chance of winning this fight. I don't see him staying up at Cruiserweight after this. I see it as more of just a smash and grab, an opportunity there for greatness, for history, to become a free-weight world champion. And then he'll be going back down to light heavyweight and chasing those fights with the likes of Beterbiev and Bivol. Listen, I think it all depends on how David Benavidez does the weight. I don't think he's going to look to pack on too much muscle, too much size. I think his natural walking around weight is going to be around 200 pounds anyway. So he's essentially just doing a fight with no weight cut. And I think that's really important for him to do here because David Benavidez, he's a pressure fighter. He relies on speed. He relies on output. He throws those vicious combinations, which Anthony Yard was on the end of. And he just needs lots of volume in fights. So I think if he was just to pack on the size, he's going to lose that foot speed. He's going to lose that ability to cut off the ring. He's going to lose that hand speed. He's definitely going to lose the volume. And I think his gas tank is going to take a little bit of a hit as well. But I think if David Benavidez sort of just comes in around walk around weight, he's got a very, very good chance of winning. I see him having success here. I don't see him knocking out Zurdo. I don't really see him stopping Zurdo. Zurdo's been in there with bigger guys. He's a naturally bigger guy himself. But I think David Benavidez can overwhelm him with the volumes. What I've noticed, I've gone back, I've watched a few of Zurdo Ramirez's fights, and he's a good boxer. He's a good counter puncher. He can sort of stalk behind that jab, or he can go on the back foot. He's versatile. He's got some skills. He's an underrated boxer, I think. But what worries me for Zurdo Ramirez in this fight is how easily he can be backed up to the ropes by pressure fighters that aren't as elite as David Benavidez. Take his most recent outing, a victory over Junior Dorticus last year. And yeah, he won that fight fair and square, but he was backed up to the ropes quite a lot by Dorticus. Now, Dorticus is nowhere near as fast as David Benavidez. He doesn't throw as many punches. His combinations aren't as vicious. So if a guy like Dorticus at his advanced age, what's Dorticus now? He's got to be pushing 40. If he's able to back you up and pin you on the ropes, David Benavidez is definitely going to be able to pin you up on them ropes in spots. And up at 200 pounds, I don't really think Zurdo has it in him to be elusive and slick. He's going to be there to be hit. So he's going to want to stay away. He's going to want to keep pivoting. He did that pivot really well against Chris Billam-Smith. Chris Billam-Smith, I don't think he's as skilled of a fighter as Dorticus. He wasn't able to pin Zurdo down for long stretches and he ended up eating counters all night. But if Zurdo can implement that pivot here, I think that's going to be a really, really good move. But David Benavidez is levels above skill-wise. He's going to see that coming. He's going to be looking to cut the ring off, cut the exits off. I think his left hook could be really important. If Zurdo's trying to pivot off to his right, just tag him with that left hook. That's going to be a really important punch for David Benavidez. For Zurdo, I think he's going to get on his bike in this fight. I think maybe he'll try and fiddle his way through the first half of the fight. He'll probably rack up some rounds in there, counter-punching, using his jab, using his size. He might want to make David Benavidez feel like he's the smaller man in there. I think body shots are going to be very key for Zurdo Ramirez in this one. Anything he can do to slow down the inevitable onslaught from David Benavidez is going to be so key to his success. Because if you can't keep him off and he backs him up to the ropes, listen, I think he could take a beating. So body shots, really important for Zurdo Ramirez. David Benavidez, he's not much of a jabber. He doesn't just wander into range recklessly. He's got the hands up. He's got a very good defense. He doesn't take many shots and he just walks you down. He stalks you. He keeps up the pressure with his feet. So I think for Zurdo Ramirez, if he can keep moving around, if he can stick a jab out, he can win the battle of the jabs without really doing too much. But I just wonder, is that going to be enough in this fight? I think it's going to be competitive and I think they're going to stand toe-to-toe at points in this fight. Both men like to fight up close and inside. Zurdo, what I noticed as well in some of those recent fights I watched, he will hold his feet. He definitely will hold his feet at times in this fight. He will be on the back foot mostly. I think he's going to look to try and pot shot David Benavidez, frustrate him a little bit, show him some angles. But there will be a time where he's made to stand and fight in this one. And who gets the better of those exchanges? Zurdo can shorten his punches up well. Like I say, though, he's there to be hit. David Benavidez has definitely got the better defense. And it's going to be interesting when they're up there in close quarters, in the trenches, a bit of phone box fighting. I'm keen to see who comes out on top there. So just to summarise, I think keys to victory for both men. David Benavidez, the way and how he does it is going to be instrumental in him winning this fight. If he comes in around walk-around weight, he's not packed on too much muscle, he's not looking fleshy, he's not slowed down, he's not lost any of the speed, volume, hand speed, foot speed, coordination. I think he's got a very, very good chance of winning this fight. If he can back Zurdo Ramirez up, he doesn't feel intimidated by his size and his power, I think David Benavidez has got a very, very good chance of becoming a freeweight world champion on Saturday night. As for Zurdo Ramirez, I think try and implement your size. Your jab is going to be key. You're going to want to keep David Benavidez off. Ideally, you'd like to think you'd be able to buzz him early. Just get a little bit of respect, stop David Benavidez in his tracks. Because the only way I see David Benavidez losing at the moment with his style is if he comes up against an elite boxer or someone who can put a dent in him and make him second guess marching forward. So Zurdo, that jab's going to be key. I think body shots, try and slow David Benavidez down, try and take the wind out of his sails, and don't get yourself caught up on the ropes or you're going to find yourself in big, big trouble, Mr. Ramirez. So for my official prediction, I'm tentatively going to pick David Benavidez. I think he's got the skills, I think he's got the style, I think he's got the output, he's got the confidence, and I think he's going to beat Zurdo Ramirez. It's going to be a close and competitive fight. It's going to be bloody at times. They're going to be fighting up close and personal. There's going to be some good exchanges in there. There might be some quiet moments. Zurdo might try and fiddle his way through the first couple of rounds, stink it out, but I think a fight's going to break out at some point. I don't see either men scoring a stoppage. I think this fight will go the distance and we will see David Benavidez win a tight, competitive decision here. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. David Benavidez, will he win? Will he become a freeweight world champion? Or will Zurdo Ramirez prove to be one step too far for him? Too big and too skilled? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.